Okay, in this video, we're going to talk through how to approach AQA English Language Paper 1, Question 1. It's the first question you'll deal with on this paper, and overall it's worth 4 marks. So you get 1 mark for each correct piece of information you list. Before you even get to the exam room, it's a really good idea to revise which assessment objective each question examines, so you know how best to answer. Paper 1, Question 1 assesses AO1, which is your ability to identify and interpret explicit and implicit information and ideas. But Paper 1 only focuses on retrieving explicit information. Explicit information is the kind of information you can definitely prove and is factually correct. This is what you're looking for on Question 1, so let's have a look at how you'd approach it. First of all, read through the question carefully. Let's say you're asked to list 4 things you learn about Spike the dog in lines 3 to 10 of the text. To make it easy to stay on track, circle or highlight the focus of the information you're after, in this case, Spike the dog. It's also a good idea to circle or highlight the lines you're asked to concentrate on. You might find it useful to box off that section of the text so it's really clear what you're working with. This isn't a very high mark question, so you don't need to spend too long on it. About 5 minutes is enough. You can just skim read the text and pick out the 4 best bits of information that answer the question. It could be useful to highlight those in some way too. Next, you need to turn this information into your response. When you're writing it out, you can directly quote from the text, or you can paraphrase, which means to put it into your own words. But you have to make sure that you clearly link what you write back to the focus of the question. Ask yourself if what you've written is definitely from the correct lines of the text, definitely true, and definitely keeping to the focus of the task. It can be really easy for your answers to get a bit muddled or vague, but there are ways to avoid that. One great tip is to make sure you're writing your responses in short, crisp, clear sentences and using the focus of the question. So, if the question asks you to list 4 things you learn about Spike the dog, your answers might go something like, Spike the dog is larger than average, or Spike the dog doesn't have a collar. Hopefully you can see how mentioning Spike the dog really clearly links these answers back to the focus of the question. One thing to be careful of, though, is that you're not jumping to conclusions or interpreting the text in the wrong way. For example, just because you've noted that Spike has no collar, that doesn't necessarily mean he has no owner. Okay, we'll leave it there. Just to round up, to be successful on AQA Paper 1 Question 1, your response has to be true and taken only from the lines stated in the question. And it must relate to the focus of the question. It'd be worth practicing what we've just walked through with an actual exam paper so you can see how it works. Why not use the AQA style paper that's attached to this pod? Good luck!